Welcome to Real Estate in the Lowcountry. With me now is Sheri Nixon of Keller Williams. Good to see you again.
Great to be here.
Yes, welcome to this Lowcountry day that we're having. It's
yes,
so perfect
beautiful.
out there.
Yes.
Yes, and so we're going to talk a little bit today. We've touched on it before, but we're going to kind of delve into it a little deeper today about why it's so important to have a real estate team behind you when you're trying to navigate this market.
Yes, and I'm not talking about, a cast of thousands. I'm talking about just support and leverage for an agent.
Well, and so let's talk about what that means for the Sheri Nixon team. Give us a little description of what your team looks like.
Okay, so Sheri Nixon team, I have Shannon Sheehan, who is my buyer's agent, and then I have Annie McKean, who does all my office work, and then I have Lacey Lugo, who is virtual and does the transaction to close.
Okay, so it's a tight-knit group.
Yes.
But you've got all your bases covered.
Absolutely.
So give us an example of how that does serve your clients.
Okay, so in a day, if you're an agent, I know we do work 24/7 and 365 days a year, yet it can't be expected. And if we are, we're not doing our client service that needs to be done. So in a day, I have Shannon Sheehan, who is up at the crack of dawn, before the crack of dawn, and she's there looking through the listings, looking through the delayed listings, figuring out what to send to which client and all of that. Then if they want to see a property, she's the one running out, doing a FaceTime. And then two, she has the time if someone's in town and wants to just see the area, look at all the communities.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to see with them. So she's doing that. And then if they want to write an offer, she can call me. I can talk to Annie in the office and give her all the data points of the particular house. And then I can have time to call the agent and find out what are the hot buttons that seller needs so my buyer knows the best things to put in the contract. So I have that time to do that. I have time to look through and get the comps, get all that, even though today comps don't matter.
I was just going to say that comps change like on a daily basis.
Exactly, but I do have that time, and so I can be there writing the offer. And when that takes a lot of time. And then if we're doing that, we've written an offer, the next day we're having to negotiate it, and then two, we have the existing clients that are already under contract, buyers and sellers too. So then Lacey Lugo is there and she's sending it to the attorneys, ordering the inspections, doing all of that. And it takes time too. So if you're a single agent, you're out showing, everything else is happening. It's hard to find the time to do what needs to be done.
Right. And you've got the system where every single step of the way is covered. Right.
And we're all doing kind of what we love best, and two, just the first initial conversations with people takes a while too. Just talking them through what are their needs and how do you put them on the drip, the MLS drip. So, and I will show property too, and I love to do that. So, we can all help and do what needs to be done.
Absolutely. But like I said, you kind of just have your little routine that works really well and gets that process through. So we've talked about it from the buyer standpoint, obviously. Let's talk about it, how that helps when it's somebody that's a seller.
Okay. Well, I actually have a perfect example that just happened. Last week we had Heritage, it was Easter, everybody's in town. I had someone call me, and in fact they said they talked to me 17 years ago. And they remembered about real estate, and they were like, it was a nice conversation, so I was flattered. They called and they all of a sudden just thought, it's time to list this house because we have everyone in town. I was able to get Annie, we were able to run down there, to have the discussion, talk to them, snap photos, go back, do the pictures, all of this while all of us were, other people, I think there were agents in town, just off at Heritage, and if they didn't have leverage, Shannon was at Heritage that day, I could be putting in the listing. We put it on the next day. We did multiple offers and got it sold in the 2 days before Heritage was over.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And it still shows you how hot this market is.
I know.
But they decided to pull the trigger, and in 2 days that was done. That's really, truly.
And they needed someone who had time to run down there.
Yeah.
And if I'd been by myself, I wouldn't have had that time to do it.
Absolutely true. So if somebody wants to get to your team, whether they're buying or selling, what's the best way to do that?
They can give me a call. I'm always available, as you see. or someone on my team will be. And you can call me 843-301-2688, and I'm happy to help.
Well, thank you, Sheri. It's great to see you as always, and make sure you're giving her a call if you want her great team behind you.
Thank you.